There is something you need to hear right now. And if you truly hear it, your life will never feel the same again. You may believe things are falling apart. You may feel behind, confused, exhausted, invisible. You may look at your life and wonder why nothing seems to be working. But what if this moment is not happening against you? What if everything is quietly aligning for you, even now, even in the uncertainty, even in the delay, even in the silence? There is a force within you. Silent, powerful, always active, moving unseen pieces, opening hidden doors, creating outcomes your current mind cannot yet fully understand. But most people miss this because they judge too quickly. They look at temporary appearances and assume that nothing is changing. And before the breakthrough arrives, they give up. So before you decide that your life is not moving forward, listen carefully, because what you are about to realize can change everything. There is a principle shaping your life right now. A truth most people overlook. Your outer world is not separate from you. It is a reflection of your inner state, the circumstances you experience, the opportunities you attract, the patterns that repeat in your life. All of it mirrors what you consistently believe, feel, and accept as true within yourself. Most people are taught the opposite. They are taught that life happens first, and then emotions follow, but the truth is deeper than that. Your inner world comes first. Your assumptions create the lens through which reality forms. Every thought you repeat, every belief you emotionally accept, every identity you silently carry, becomes a creative force when you constantly say, "Nothing ever works for me. I'm always behind. Life is difficult." You are not simply describing your reality. You are reinforcing it, and the world responds accordingly. Not because life is punishing you, but because reality mirrors your inner identity. But the moment you begin assuming something different, the moment you start believing, "Things are aligning for me. Opportunities are finding me. I am supported. My life is unfolding perfectly," something shifts. Your inner world changes, and slowly, your outer reality begins changing too. This is why transformation does not begin with forcing action. It begins with changing your state of being. Because actions without inner alignment create struggle. You try harder, push harder, control harder, but nothing feels natural. However, when your inner state changes, your actions become effortless. You stop chasing, you start embodying. You become the version of yourself who already trusts life. And from that place, reality begins rearranging itself around you. But this process requires awareness. You must begin observing the story you repeatedly tell yourself. What assumptions are you feeding daily? When things go wrong, do you immediately choose fear? Or do you remain grounded in trust? Because every reaction matters. Every moment of faith strengthens your new reality. And every moment of unconscious doubt feeds the old one. This is why persistence is the secret, not temporary motivation. Not one powerful moment of belief, but steady inner loyalty. The ability to return to your chosen belief, again and again. Especially when appearances seem unchanged. Most people believe for a few days. Then they look around and say, "Nothing is happening," and they return to doubt. But the person who persists, the one who remains faithful within, eventually sees their world transform. Because reality always responds to consistency. Understand this clearly. Your current circumstances are not permanent facts. They are temporary shadows. They are echoes of old beliefs, old fears, old assumptions. They are not final. Most people treat their current reality as absolute truth. If things are difficult now, they assume they always will be. If success hasn't arrived yet, they assume it never will. But this thinking keeps them trapped, because they allow the old reflection to define the future. Imagine standing in front of a mirror. If you dislike the reflection, you do not fight the mirror, you change yourself. And the reflection changes automatically. Life works the same way. Your outer world is reflecting what has already been accepted within. So when you constantly react emotionally to problems, you keep energizing them. But when you stop identifying with temporary appearances, something powerful begins happening. The old reality starts fading, and a new one begins emerging. There will be moments when life seems to contradict your belief. Moments when you wonder, if things are aligning for me, why does it still look like this? But this is where understanding becomes essential. The old reality does not disappear instantly. There is often a transition period, a space where the old reflection is still visible, while the new state is taking root, and this is where most people lose faith. They see delay and assume failure, but delay is not denial. The seed grows beneath the soil long before the flower appears, and your new reality is unfolding beneath the surface, even when you cannot yet see it. So stop treating temporary conditions as permanent truth. They are passing shadows, nothing more. Everything you desire already exists. Read that again carefully. Everything you desire already exists. The peace, the abundance, the success, the love, the freedom. It is not waiting to be created. It already exists as a reality. The only thing separating you from it is alignment. Most people spend their lives chasing, trying to force outcomes, trying to make things happen. But chasing reinforces the feeling of not having. And what you feel, you continue to experience. The moment you understand that your desired reality already exists, you stop chasing, you begin aligning, you stop hoping, you start knowing, you stop begging, you start embodying. There is already a version of you living the life you desire. A version of you who feels confident, peaceful, loved, successful, free. That version is not separate from you. It is simply a different state of being. And your job is not to create it. Your job is to become it internally. This is where imagination becomes sacred. When you imagine your desired reality, when you emotionally experience it as real, when you accept it as yours within, you are not pretending. You are aligning with a reality that already exists. And as you persist in that state, life reorganizes itself around it. But doubt interrupts the process. Not occasional fear, not temporary uncertainty, but the habit of constantly returning to disbelief. Most people begin the process, then sabotage it. They feel inspired, then immediately check the outside world for proof. When proof does not appear instantly, they question everything, and in that moment, they return to the old identity, the old fear, the old assumptions, the old story. This is what delays transformation. Not life itself, but inner inconsistency. So your commitment must become stronger than temporary emotions. You may notice doubt, but you do not have to obey it. You may feel fear, but you do not have to identify with it. Instead, you gently return to your chosen belief, again and again and again, until it becomes natural, until trust becomes your identity. There is incredible power in someone who refuses to go backwards mentally. Someone who says, no matter what I see, I will not return to the old story. That kind of inner stability changes everything, because persistence creates momentum, and momentum creates transformation. So protect your inner state. Be mindful of what you repeatedly accept as true. Do not allow temporary appearances to control your identity. Because every time you return to fear, you delay what is already unfolding. And every time you return to trust, you strengthen your new reality. So now, you stand at a turning point. Not outside of you, within you. Will you continue feeding doubt? Or will you rise into certainty? Will you keep reacting to appearances? Or will you trust what is unfolding beneath them? You do not need more proof. You do not need perfect conditions. You do not need permission from the world. You only need to remain faithful to the new reality you have chosen within. Because the moment you stop wavering, the moment you fully accept it, your world begins transforming, quietly, naturally, powerfully. So walk forward with trust. Hold your vision without compromise, and no matter what appears in front of you, do not give up, because what is meant for you is already moving towards you, and everything is aligning in your favor.